I'm seeing red again. These thoughts are stuck in my head. Somebody hold me back, I'm losing patience. So don't give me an excuse, cause I got nothing to lose. My fists are black and blue from hitting the pavement. Don't get in my way, it don't set me off, cause I'm not somebody you'd wanna cross. This wanted man got guilt on his hands, and I'm not somebody you'd understand.
That's coming to save me. Trapped in the dark, but truly that's what made me. Yeah, I'm built different, just look at all of the scars. If I didn't make the change, the world would tear me apart. I've realized to survive I had to be a beast. This determination in my heart has set me free. So can you tell me now who I got to fear? They try to knock me down, but now I'm still standing here. I use my pain, yeah, that's what makes me dangerous. Always been the underdog, pushed through all the changes. Mama always told me to be careful who you hang with. I never switched up, yeah, that's what made me dangerous. Look what I overcame, look how far I made it. They'll never knock me down, one day I'll be celebrated. Made my peace with all the harm that came to us. It made me this way, yeah, it got me feeling dangerous.
I'm feeling dangerous, yeah. The ashes burn to dust. I'm ruthless in my blood. I'm feeling dangerous. Don't get too close to me, might not like what you see. I'm ruthless in my blood. I'm feeling dangerous.
Yeah, look, I'm feeling dangerous. Yeah, I'm feeling dangerous. They can't stop us. They can't stop us, no. They can't stop us.
Feeling dangerous.
Feeling too dangerous. Feeling too dangerous. Yeah, we feeling too dangerous.
Feeling dangerous. Don't get in my way. Don't set me off, cause I'm not somebody you'd wanna cross. I'm feeling dangerous. I'm feeling dangerous. The ashes burn to dust. I'm ruthless in my blood. I'm feeling dangerous. Don't get too close to me, you might not like what you see. I'm ruthless in my blood. I'm feeling dangerous.
Yeah,
I'm feeling dangerous.
yeah, let's go.
I'm feeling dangerous.
What I got to fear? Nothing. Yeah.
What is good? It's Saturday. It's the final week of the NFL regular season. Are you ready? Can you feel it in your veins? I can feel it. I want to look at my phone and look at what the boosts are for tonight and see, get some betting action in, because the Ravens ain't playing tonight. So let's see if the Steelers can do anything. But you know who is playing tonight? The Colts. And the Colts are the second home of my co-host, my homie, Syl Abdul. How you doing, man? How you feeling about tonight's game, man?
Saturday football, man. You know, it's always been exciting for the last few weeks here. So it's week 18, man. It's just can't believe it's the end of the season already.
I know, man. It came so fast, and how quick we got here. But there's still so many teams that are in the hunt. So we're gonna go over that. I got all the analytics. There's so many paragraphs like, if this team loses, then this team. If there's a tie, oh, that's right. Ties can still happen at this point in the season. So some teams can tie, and then there's tie breakers that add up. There's all sorts of nonsense that can happen. But this is the end of the line. The end of the line, man. It will be decided. Funny enough, we can bring that up just to see. We'll look at real quick who's actually clinched their playoff berth. And shout out to everybody in the chat. And I saw Douglas Murphy here, who was here earlier. Thanks for showing some love, Douglas and Richard Carr Sr. Not usually in the chat, but appreciate y'all. And Israel and Josh Herrera, what's up, man? Happy 2024. 2024, the vibes, man. This is going to be a nice little look into the future because these teams are already in the playoffs. And we know this. But what I thought was funny about it is there's a team who's in second place who's actually already clinched. Oh, and I didn't even upload that picture. So let me do that real quick. What was it? Oh, in the hunt. Okay. 1 second. I just killed myself and all that hype. There it is. Boom. I got the in the hunt and not in the bubble and the AFC scenarios, but I didn't get the clinch. This is the ones who already clinched. The Browns, man. Second. And they already clinched. The Eagles already clinched too, and they're second as well. And so did the Rams, apparently. Already clinched the playoff spot, which is hilarious compared to where they were in the season. But all these seedings can change. So that's why this last week of the regular season is important. The Ravens, though, they locked up number one. I don't think there's any chance that they can lose that.
It's clinch.
Yeah, they're 2 games ahead of the Dolphins. There's no way they're going to lose it. But there might be some things that can change at the bottom, which is important because you never know who's third and fourth seeds are gonna turn out to be. Well, obviously the Chiefs are third, but I mean who they're playing, you never know who that's gonna be. So and it's important because there's some teams at the bottom of the AFC that people are like, whoa. The Browns though clinching with Joe Flacco, isn't that hilarious, dude? That's just hilarious to me.
I mean they've been a good team all year, and we just kept saying they need that quarterback stability and. Who knew it'd be Joe Flacco?
right. And nobody knew. That's what I said last week. I don't think anybody had that on their bingo card. Joe Flacco is saving the Browns this year, or it was even in the NFL script. But let me pull up that nice predictions board real quick. And this is all we got for today. But it's big games, man. They hilarious enough. At any other time of the year, you wouldn't have said that the Texans-Colts game is the primetime game. But that is the AFC South Championship right there, essentially. Yeah. Whoever wins that game goes on into the playoffs. But Steelers-Ravens is important because the Steelers, they need to win to keep their playoff hopes alive. The Ravens, though, like we said, they're completely clinched. But I looked at the spread and I was like, wait a second, am I reading this right? Is Steelers really favored by 3 points right now against the Ravens? And then I looked at all the inactives and I was like,
they're sitting like everywhere.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. They're really resting people. But how do you feel about that though? Because like I said earlier, and we all know this, that you're a Colts fan and you've been a Colts fan for years. They used to do that, man. They used to rest their players, and then I felt like every time they went to the playoffs, it only worked once, essentially, when they went on that run. But how do you feel about resting your players like this right before the playoffs? Because they're gonna have another bye week, dude.
Yeah, well, just for all clarity, it never worked for the Colts. The year that Peyton won the Super Bowl with the Colts, we was a wild card team, so we were scrapping all the way to the end. And then they won one home game, and then they went on the road the rest of the way. The Chargers got upset by the Patriots.
Yeah,
and the Patriots had to come to Indy, and we finally beat Brady to go to the Super Bowl and beat my Bears. That's Super Bowl, crazy Super Bowl right there. But the years that the Colts rested, like I said, we usually get bounced early. The one year we thought it would work, it was 14-2. They rested. They like lost on purpose like week 16 and rested. They pulled Peyton early week 16 and he didn't play at all week 17. Bye week, we get to the Super Bowl. That's when we ran into the Saints. Drew Brees beat us in the Super Bowl and Sean Payton.
Damn.
So it never worked. It never worked for him. But I mean, maybe that formula works for other teams.
I was gonna say, tell me why this is different.
So, like for the Ravens, I mean, I would say, I think most people you would want some kind of a routine, right? Like, I don't feel comfortable with it. Like Israel saying the 49ers resting everybody tomorrow. It's like, I mean, I get it. You don't want no injuries, but you need those reps, man. And now Lamar, this is a different thing though, because Lamar Jackson, you do not want him nicked up at all, because literally the last 2 seasons he could not literally finish the season. You know what I mean? Because of injury, and it was like some freak stuff that was happening. He get tackled the wrong way, so it's like I get it, y'all this close, but you know what I mean. You need those reps, man. So we'll see. I think Purdy he should play tomorrow, but he's not. He's not going to play. But your original question, I think you were just saying with the Colts. We shouldn't even be here. Like this should
right, dude.
Now for the AFC South, now the Jaguars does have the tiebreaker over both these teams.
So they have to lose.
They just got to beat their. I think it's the Panthers tomorrow or something. It's some trash team.
I got it right here. In the hunt. Boom. So they're playing Tennessee.
Titans. Okay.
Tennessee.
Now I'm trying to think. Is Will Levis?
He's not playing. Wait. I don't know. That's a good question. Let me check.
He's questionable. They're saying he's questionable. So we'll see. I mean, that's not going to be a rollover game. And Coach Vrabel, though they had a tough year or two,
bro,
we highly respect. Yeah, we highly respect Vrabel's coaching. He's proven, I think, that he's going to be he wants to be competitive every year, and you got to like that as a coach and as a team. So that's not a given that the Jags will win that game. But this game here today is you punch your ticket to the playoffs no matter what if you just win, and you could end up winning the division as well. But just you clinch a spot for the Texans or Colts today. Yeah,
which is it's important. I say AFC South championship, but because to me, the Jaguars, they don't belong to they don't deserve to go to the playoffs, and they don't belong in the playoffs to me. You know what I'm saying? One of these teams do with a healthy CJ Stroud and a healthy Texans offense. I think if that's the case too, if they have Tank Dell and all of their players, there would be a higher spread. It'd probably be 3.5, but they're just Texans are going with what they got. Also, though, don't count out the Colts, but first, before we get into that prediction, Steelers Ravens, another division battle. Division Saturday, dude. Everyone's playing for the Steelers as far as I know. Like I said, they're in the hunt. There's a chance for them. Or on the bubble, I think technically is the Steelers. And let me pull this on the bubble up.
Yeah.
Steelers are on the bubble. So even if they win, they still have a 66% chance for them to go into the playoffs. So other teams have to lose for them. And let me pull up those scenarios real quick.
Okay. We got everything here. Okay.
Yeah. Pittsburgh can clinch a playoff berth if they win and Buffalo loses tomorrow. If they win and Jacksonville loses or ties. If they win and the second game ties, Houston, Indiana ties. If they win, Jacksonville loses, and Houston, Indiana doesn't end in a tie. If Jacksonville, so without them even playing, Jacksonville loses, Denver wins, and Houston, Indiana doesn't end in a tie, and Pittsburgh can get into the playoffs, even without them winning, which is pretty crazy. So there's that's the bottom right corner if anyone's trying to follow along where I'm going right now. That's how they can get in. That's why this game is important. Everyone's like, well, why watch this game? No one's playing for the Ravens. Well, first of all, the Ravens second team ain't bad. You know what I'm saying? They're not bad.
Right.
And they're going to play.
It's still a division game. I think one thing we've learned this season is not to take any game for granted.
Right.
Every game was blowing it off oh, it's gonna be terrible. Even the Jets stepped up in prime time a few times, and your Patriots, depleted, and they stepped up, for a primetime game. So No, I mean, hey, this is still football. And again, division game, the Ravens, though they're sitting like their starters, they're still coming to play. Like Coach Harbaugh would love to knock out the Steelers out of the playoffs before it even begins. Like, so
Yeah.
this is going to be a worthy game. I think Tyler Huntley is going to be the starting quarterback for the Ravens. Now, I still think Zay Flowers is playing. They're sitting Odell Beckham and some of the offensive linemen and Lamar. So this is still going to be a game. I don't take any of this for granted.
I think that's probably why they're sitting them too, because I mean, like I said, not only do they get a bye, but it's a division matchup. It's gonna be like a blood battle, so they don't want to put their starters in and any risk of injury, which which makes sense at this time of the year, but still, it's never worked out. We've seen it. It doesn't work out. There's just a record against it.
We'll see, man. Now, now the season is extended now. I don't know if that means anything, but we'll see. What happens with that. But as far as as far as like I said, this Steelers Ravens game, like I said, it's still a lot to play for. And like I just said, I'm not taking anything for granted. Now those scenarios, you had up there.
Going back up.
You need the Bills play the Dolphins, so that's a very plausible scenario right there. That very first one. And then we mentioned with the Jags and Titans, don't sleep on the Titans. That's still a division game right there, right? And we don't believe in Trevor Lawrence like that, right? So, Pittsburgh, obviously, they got to go ahead and win. Ties almost never happen, right?
Yeah,
so
fail upwards in football doesn't really work.
Yeah. So those two scenarios is where it's at. Though I would say I probably spoke too soon about ties because I think 2 years ago, the Chargers and Raiders, I think the Chargers, it was like win and you're in. It was like 2 years ago, Chargers versus Raiders, and it was going down to the wire in overtime, and the Chargers decided just to go for the tie, and they actually got both teams into the playoffs.
Wow.
So they literally tied on purpose. So these week 18 – yeah, it can happen where they just because it was like the Chargers could have went for the win, and then if they missed, if they didn't make the yards to gain, like the Raiders would get the ball back or something like that. I don't know, with time left, they decided to kind of just kill the clock, and it was a tie. You know what I mean? So these scenarios can be kind of weird, but first thing, Steelers got to win first. That's the first thing.
Yeah, that's the ultimate. Just take it out of question, right? That's the way everyone says it. You hear every year at this time of year in the season where it's like you want to keep your destiny in your own hands. You don't want to leave it up to anybody else. Which it sucks though, because even if the Steelers do win, their destiny isn't technically in their hands, but it gives them the best probability. It gives them I think it's the 66% chance if they win. And currently they have a 44% chance. If they lose, though, there's still a chance. Still a 15% chance that they can get in. And so let's move on to sorry, not the schedule. Let's move on to the pick for the Steelers Ravens. With everyone sitting out, with it being a division matchup, Steelers have been trending upwards, as of late. And right now they have a winning season, or they can clinch it for the 17th straight year. And get it.
It's already clinched. Yeah.
It's already clinched.
They're 9-7. So Tomlin did it again. Yeah, he did.
They can go 10-7, dude. Come on now, yeah. I'm gonna go Steelers upsetting this on the road just because it's never good for a team when they sit all of their players. But I will say I won't be surprised if the Ravens, keep this a close game. That's why the spread is 3 points still. But I'm gonna go Steelers on the road. Who do you got in Baltimore today, man?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Steelers been trending upwards. Mason Rudolph, knows how to get the ball down the field. Like, who would have thought he would be the quarterback? Like, you go through Kenny 6 and
I'm losing you a little bit. I thought it was on my end.
Wonky. Let's see. Hold up.
There we go. You're back. Yeah,
my connection went wonky for a second. But so it's like, Kenny Pickett, kind of sit this one out. Trubisky obviously is a failure. So Mason Rudolph, is doing his thing, and he's finding George Pickens. Pickens.
Poor Mitch.
That's who you got. That's who you got to get the ball to is Pickens. And so, yeah, the Steelers, they should win this game. I think, yeah, like you said, the Ravens will make it competitive.
Yeah.
The Steelers better get like a 2-score lead like during the
Early.
second half.
Yeah.
Because if this gets tight, the Ravens, they still got players, backups that was in there fighting last year when Lamar was out. And, you still got a lot of pride with the Ravens.
Right.
So it's not going to be easy, but the Steelers should take it. I mean, they got good coaching, obviously, Mike Tomlin. You win, and then you scoreboard watch tomorrow.
Which is the tough way to live on your Sunday. But, hey, man, that's where you're at in the season. And they played in a very tough division, man. I mean, imagine being there with the Ravens and the Browns. It's like, all right, well, what can we do? Gonna be 10-7 possibly, and still have a rough time making it into the playoffs. So, yes, Steelers go and get you one. Go and get you one. But what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something about Mason Rudolph. I guess it just took him getting clonked on the head to turn into a good quarterback. Myles Garrett just had to rip his helmet off and clonk him on his head and sit out a couple of years, and now he's slanging it, dude. So shout out Mason Rudolph. I love when a player does get the opportunity to come back and like does well for themselves, right? And it always makes me feel good. And in the Texans Colts, kind of another story with that. Gardner Minshew, man. Marshmallow Minshew. That's what he looks like with that big old freaking helmet that he's got, dude. Big old marshmallow head, dude. That he's got the biggest helmet on the field, man. It's crazy.
That's deep.
It's hilarious though, but he is good. And sometimes though he will Minshew out and have a turnover, but the Colts D has been opportune in the same aspect. They've been just as tenacious with their takeaways, and I'm not sure. I should have checked this out with all the facts and stats that I got. If CJ Stroud is back, I believe he is, as well as Nick Collins is back as well. Man, they love to play. Get into the playoffs. A rookie getting into the playoffs. And they're that team this year where they can upset. However, they're going into Lucas Oil Stadium, which they've named themselves the Loud House this season. And they've been playing well at home. That's where they beat the Buccaneers, and I watched that game so feverishly. But I actually expect the Colts to get the win today and punch their playoff spot at home. But it's going to be a close game. There's a reason why it's a 1.5 point spread. Like it's a pick'em game. And I'm picking Minshew and the Colts D. And I always mess up his name. Is it Steve or is it Shane Steichen?
I believe it's Shane. Yeah,
Shane. Okay,
Shane Steichen. Yeah, the coach.
Okay. Yeah, and he's been in my mind a coach of the year candidate. If it wasn't for some of the things other coaches have done, but like he's played or coached out of his mind. To have Anthony Richardson, your first round quarterback, go down. He was playing lights out too. But to have him go down and then to have Minshew step in and be in playoff contention still, it says a lot about the coach. So shout out to him. And like I said, I fully expect the Colts to pull out a win somehow. But who do you think is going to win today in Indianapolis? I think the roof's going to be closed today. It's probably a little cold.
The roof is closed. Yeah, the roof is closed. About probably like was it like high 40s, I believe, in Indy right now.
Windy too.
This is a crazy game. Like AFC South, both teams, no one expected the Texans to, even be close to a chance for the playoffs. Now it's like they were on a great pace. Then Stroud got hurt, for a couple of games. So it's like, oh man, like they could have had this locked up, and then, the injuries happened. And so now Tank Dell, he's out for the year, but Nico Collins is out there. And just whatever they're stitching together on defense and the rest of the squad there. It's about CJ Stroud. And as far as with the Colts, man, like you said, Anthony Richardson had a great start to the year. He was like that phenom looking quarterback early.
Right.
And then he gets dinged up really 2 games in a row and just, wear and tear already. It's like, dang, so I was ready to throw the towel in for the year for the Colts. Like, okay, that's okay. I didn't expect to make the playoffs this year with Richardson, so to see that promise early and then, He's hurt. It's like, okay, I concede. We're not going to do anything this year. Now it's like win and you're in. It's insane. It's really insane. In Indy, Lucas Oil Stadium, both these teams, like I said, they've scrapped to get to this point. You mentioned Steichen for Coach of the Year. I'm leaning more towards D'Amico Ryans, the Texans head coach. Like
Right.
this guy, rookie head coach. I think Steichen is as well too, but he was a coordinator and stuff. But taking the Texans and CJ Stroud was early MVP, like just talk, what a year, man. And so it just comes down to two scrappy teams, AFC South division game. I got to give the edge to the better quarterback. I think CJ Stroud is actually going to pull this out in Indy. And I think D'Amico Ryans wins Coach of the Year if they pull this out. Because my coach is like, I never try to pick with my heart. And so obviously, it would be insane if I was still out there in Indy and I'll probably be at this game or downtown or something outside the stadium. But I just, CJ Stroud, he is that dude. And I think it's like, what's the difference in this game? You know what I mean? I mean, Jonathan Taylor is solid. Zach Moss for the running game for the Colts. The Texans got Devin Singletary. He's come on the last couple of weeks. It's just the difference, I guess, it's got to be CJ Stroud. I think he's going to take it.
That's fair, man. That's fair. And let me take this up because there's a lot with them, Indianapolis and the Houston game as far as that goes. Indianapolis can clinch the AFC division title, actually. And this Jacksonville has to lose. And if they win or tie and Jacksonville loses, they clinch the title. They can clinch a playoff berth with a win. So like you said, they punch a ticket if they win, or if they tie and Pittsburgh loses or ties. And then on the other side of things, Houston can clinch the title as well if they win and Jacksonville loses or ties. And Houston can also clinch the playoff berth. They have to win and Jacksonville has to lose. So it's not just win and get in for Houston, actually. They have to win and Jacksonville has to lose in order for them. Yeah, they need some help. They need some help, which is crazy, man.
Wow.
Yeah, wow, it's just crazy. If you look at that, they need Jacksonville to lose and Pittsburgh to lose or tie in order for them to clinch their playoff berth.
I changed my pick then. I said the Colts win. I thought it literally was Texans win and you're in. Wow.
Yeah, they need some help
because the Texans could win. I'm not gonna change my pick. I'm just playing, but the Texans could win, and then they still need help because man, you need Pittsburgh to lose as well, or Jacksonville to lose. That's tough.
That's tough, man. But if they win and Jacksonville loses, they clinch the title and they get in, right? You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So it's like, you got to. What a scenario! And they're on the road to try and clinch that. Like, ooh, that's why tonight's a big game. No, everyone thought it was win and get in. Oh no. That's why I got the facts, man. I pulled that up because I was like, this is going to be important. And we'll look at that tomorrow too. I have all of the NFC. The NFC is just as big, if not bigger for all the scenarios. But so you're going Texans on the road, rookie sensation CJ Stroud clinching the playoff berth, probably and possibly clinching rookie of the year. With that win as well, I would say, because he's been out of the spotlight, but that would put him right back in the spotlight, dude. Winning on Saturday night, what a big game. And we'll be back tomorrow. Obviously, we got a whole slew of games, and I wanted to ask you. Well, I'll ask you now. I'll probably ask you again tomorrow. See if your pick changes. But early pick for the national championship game. What you got? It's going to be Michigan, Washington. I mean, come on. I think I know who you're going to pick.
You gotta think it's like Washington, high flying scoring team. They've beaten some great teams all year. To get to this point. And that Texas game, I thought Washington was going to just blow, Texas off the field. I was like, they're supposed to be just that much better. And it was a game. It was more of a game than I thought. And I was a little surprised as far as with Michigan too. Like Alabama, kind of exposed that Michigan don't have the best offense. They got great defense.
Yeah.
Michigan don't got the best offense.
Shaky.
But I think just with these teams, meeting head on, I don't trust Washington to generate enough points because they haven't shown me like that they can just click on and they're going to score. Michigan, I think it's going to stifle them. This is probably going to be the worst game Washington has all year. So we're going for the Wolverines. Go blue, big blue. Michigan, Harbaugh gets the title. Middle finger to the Big Ten and the NCAA, and
peace out.
Probably go pro. Yeah, he probably go pro.
I think that's what's happening too. Yeah, you had the gesture of or the gist of it. It was it's go big, go blue, but go big blue, same shit. And I want to see the chat real quick. No, the Longhorns were a good team too. Yeah, absolutely right. Texas was a great team. Washington has a better offense. I think they'll take it. All right, early picks from SylNation, from Israel. We'll see, man. That's going to be a good pick, but obviously everyone's chiming in on that. It's the national championship for college football, bro. Can't wait to watch that. Can't wait to go over all the picks tomorrow, too. We'll have all the scenarios for the NFC, for the AFC, so make sure you're calling back tomorrow. Let's be around, noon, same time tomorrow, basically. So, yeah, anything to promo from now until then, my friend, before we get out of here?
I tell you, outside of sports, I've been, trying to cover like pop culture stuff as well, and this Cat Williams, Kevin Hart thing is exploding on my my main channel. Is ridiculous numbers right now in this video, and so we're going to keep feeding the beast and the algorithm. So outside of the geek stuff that I normally do, comic book movies and stuff like that, the Echo series is dropping next week. That's been getting a lot of engagement on my geek channel.
Kingpin's back.
Yeah, we're just going to cover, what's hot overall. And now we're kind of, like I said, just getting more of the trendy topics going to mix in there as well. So,
hell yeah,
as
man.
Carlos said, Patreon, Daily Planet weekday, Patreon exclusive podcast. That's what I do, basically bonus live streams, bonus episodes, where we kind of expand the topics out a little bit. It's not just Snyder, not just DC. Though I can talk about that every day. But but outside of that, I put that on the Patreon.
All right, man. You know what it is. Get on that Patreon. Make sure you're following Syl. Make sure you're following SylNation Sports and subscribe, obviously. Like Richard said earlier in the chat, that's free. That's free. For YouTube subscriptions, you ain't got to subscribe. You got to pay a little extra for that Patreon, but it's worth it. It's worth it. But we'll be back tomorrow, everybody. Make sure that you come with your passion and your football teams. And hopefully, your team's not sitting out tomorrow. We can bet on them, right? That's the whole point. Well, I'm pissed about these teams not playing. It's like, man, we're going to bet on the backup? Oh, I don't even know who this guy is. Sam Darnold? Come on now. Nah, I'm playing. But we'll see y'all tomorrow. Enjoy the games. They're about to tip off with the Steelers-Ravens. So everybody have a good night. And until next time, peace.